Welcome back to another episode of Expat Rebel. Today I'm going to share with you European Union Travel Authorization System is coming in the mid-2025. Delta fixes some changes they've had and adds a new entertainment plane system. A money transfer app is having to pay a huge fine for doing things wrong. And is Costa Rica too expensive? An expat's view on that. And is the Mexican Superpeso driving away people? And more expat news. I created this podcast because I believe that being an expat is just not for everyone, and that a lot of the expat advice out there is really unrealistic. So I'm delivering news, motivation, and advice that will make you an excellent expat and enjoy a better life. And because I know you're busy, I won't take up too much of your time. If you want to become an expat soon, then go grab expatrebel.com's guide to becoming an expat in 30 days over at expatrebel.com/30. And if you just love what we're doing, please support us over at expatrebel.com/join. We're a community and we'd love for you to join us. All the articles I mentioned are in the show notes, all the links. So let's start today's show. There's some photos in the newsletter. So if you're interested in some photos of my beach walk that I had recently, I live on the beach, so I walk on it probably every other day. Today it's windy, so I'm not, but if you're interested in more information that's in this podcast, go over to expatrebel.com and get on the newsletter. Let's turn over to travel news. The European Union is going to require this travel authorization system. I've talked about it before, but now we're getting some actual deadlines of when it's going to come out, some dates. It's going to be mid-2025. It's the best we have right now. It's a long delayed travel authorization system that's going to go in the spring of 2025, and it would require visitors to the European Union passport area to fill out a form ahead of travel that will be used to screen them for security or migration risks. It applies to travelers between the ages of 18 and 70 and will cost around $8, and it'll be valid for 2 years. Delta is rolling out a new personalized entertainment plane system, and their frequent flyer miles that Delta has pulled back on some SkyMail changes they've had, a whole bunch of changes recently because some rivals started stepping in and offering better deals. So going forward, Delta is going to eliminate flying as a metric for obtaining status and instead base their medallion accruals solely on spending with the company. And although less dramatic than previously planned, increases in status, spending thresholds, and curbs on lounge access will still be introduced in this year and next. Plus, they have a new priority when getting upgraded. They say they're now selling 75% of first-class seats. This includes low-yielding routes where first class rarely sells. On premium routes, the percentage is much higher. And this includes low yielding days and times. At peak travel times, the percentage is much higher. So a lot of the changes they've been doing is trying to get utilization of first class seats to be higher. Popular money transfer app is ordered to pay a really hefty fine for deceiving customers. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau of the U.S. is stepping in. They say this mobile app has deceived consumers about the cost and speed of international money transfers by requiring consumers to waive their rights and protections. Again, link in there on the app that's doing that. Let's move on to expat news. Is Costa Rica too expensive? There's a nice article I have about an expat's point of view. The bottom line is some things yes and some things no. Overall, definitely better, but it's interesting how some things are actually more expensive than back in the US or Canada. Nicaragua is cracking down on Catholic groups. If you hadn't heard about that, the authorities there shuttered a local chapter of a religious order, as well as 16 NGOs, many with ties to the Catholic Church, which the government has been clamping down on. Just to make you aware of that. Let's move on to Mexico expat news. The Superpeso, is this scaring away the foreign tourists? Now, the Superpeso is that the peso, Mexican peso, has not been as favorable when you're a foreigner here. Our value, dollars to Mexico value, has gotten less because Mexican peso has been doing better. So is it making destinations more expensive? And the main Mexican beaches receive fewer foreign tourists by air during the summer compared to the same season in 2022? Maybe. And the Mayan train, the people that are familiar with that, it's going to be here in Yucatan and Quintana Roo states of Mexico, is going to charge $38 if you're a foreign tourist. Residents, well, and of course, nationals will not be paying that extra fee. That's it for today's episode. Thanks again for being a part of Expat Rebel. This would not be possible without all of you. We're building a positive expat community, and we're here to support you. If you enjoyed this show, please leave a review. We'd love to hear from you. And if you would like a weekly newsletter that goes along with all of this, that has more information, go over to expatrebel.com/newsletter. Also, you can check out how to become an expat in about 30 days over at expatrebel.com. It shares how I went from idea to moving to a foreign country in about 30 days, and also shares how you can save about $3,000 on mistakes that I made within the very first month. See y'all next time. Bye.